back to Water Hose Drinkers. It is episode 33. Been a little hiatus, but we are back.
We're back. We're
Just
back.
just me and Cole today. No chicken coop, no Alec. But the show goes on. First off, KOO interview following this episode. So if you're on YouTube with us, stay tuned for when we get done for a good 45 minutes with KOO, I believe. So, pretty extensive interview, probably one of our longest with an athlete, I'd say that wasn't.
With an athlete, you know how hard it is to like be a kicker and punter in the league. There's only 32 jobs. They don't keep backups. So
Yeah,
it's like, he's one of the 32
yeah.
like players. And fantasy wise, he's a killer, a
Oh yeah.
killer
Because
kicker.
the Falcons can't score touchdowns, man. So I mean,
Exactly my point.
three points with the field goals, dude.
Dude, and he can bomb the ball like no one else can
You get
bomb
it
it.
to the 40, Koo's got a shot.
He's got a great shot. He can bomb. He's got a great leg, dude. He's just a great story too. He's like a great story,
Oh
So
yeah, man. I mean, he also is our first professional athlete on the podcast. Well, okay, Giles Amos technically professional athlete. Okay, so I'll give him credit there. But Koo is our first NFL player on the
there
podcast.
you go. That's waves. You're making waves, and that's coming from the Florida boy. You're making waves up there in Georgia.
So yeah, I mean, hopefully I think we might can pull two more off soon. So
I think
you
it should have. I think it was fair. I'm glad I wasn't a part of that interview because I would have 100% went all Bucks and wore all my Bucks stuff. So I'm glad I wasn't there for that. I would have been a troll. I would have put like fake rings, NFC South rings on my hand and been like, just an absolute troll. Mad respect to the guy. Mad respect to the guy. But I would have been a troll because my Bucks own that division, which isn't saying much, but it still is something.
Yeah, I mean, it's all right though. It's all
Oh,
right.
it's all right. Speaking of football, camps,
Well,
camps.
first off, before football, song of the week.
Oh, song of the week. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm actually gonna. So there's a little bit of story behind this song because it's gonna be "Me, Myself, and I" by De La Soul, and it was on the soundtrack to my favorite NCAA game of all time, NCAA '06 with Desmond Howard on the cover. And you just get done. You like it was the one where it had like the campus set up or
Yeah,
like the dorm room set up and stuff, and it was cool because you had like you could do like drills like in the high school portion you did these little like drills and that determined like your overall, so it was kind of like a 40-yard dash time or like
yeah.
you gotta do all these different stuff. It was awesome. And you would just get done playing like your sixth game or something, and then you come back to your dorm and then you just hear like boom, 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 boom. But dude, great song, dude.
I'm not gonna play it because it can
Yeah.
get taken off YouTube.
Oh yeah, no, but it's
Um,
a bop. It is an absolute like it's a jam, bro. It's a jam. I think it's big on TikTok right now, dude.
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
just
Do you know what I
moving.
was thinking of? Was the Me, Myself, and I by G Easy. That's
Oh yeah, not this. No, this is
yeah,
De La
yeah,
Soul.
but that's got a dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So like that was like just an absolute vibe for me. Like that summer when that game came out, that was all I was playing, and that song would come on, and I'd just be like, little me just oh yeah, just jamming out on the PlayStation 2 also, just jamming out.
So
So
my song of the week is "Perfect Timing" by Shador Sanders. No,
uh,
I'm joking. Screw that song. I just that I'm joking. I'm joking. Yeah. But my actual song of the week is Trail Dragger by Widespread Panic.
okay, well, all right, I like that. I like that. A little widespread, getting a little panic on me. I like it.
So my buddy Dylan Rosado, shout out D Roz, diehard Cowboys fan, diehard Clemson fan. He
All right,
was
one
the
second.
guy that I was when we saw each other for what the first time in like 6 years was at
Hmm.
the Florida State Clemson game.
There you go.
And
There you
that's
go.
who I was with, and he showed me that song.
Dude, great song, good time. Sorry, Dog had to be let out. I guess she was a little curious.
So yes, we'll jump right in. You mentioned something about camps. Florida State camp started today. So you got a little intel for, the I don't know if there's a lot of Florida State people that watch this podcast, but we'll give it anyway because of the Knowles.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's my team. I ride or die for my Knowles. Always have, always will. We're in our post Jordan Travis era. Mike Norvell coming off of a great year, undefeated regular season, ACC champions. Runners up in the Orange Bowl. You can't complain when you go to a New Year's Six Bowl and you end up being runner up when you field a high school team because
What was the score again?
uh playoff snub. That was a score. That was a score. Playoff snub because unruly and ungodly acts took place to get Nick Saban his swan song, his tour, because Georgia and Florida State both should have been in the playoff. If we're going off the best teams, which we were for years and years and years, we were going off the best team. Georgia and Florida State were some of the best teams in the country, and I think that it should have been Georgia, Michigan, Florida State, Washington. That's who you put in, or Texas. Hell, Texas Washington's a toss up in my opinion. But
I would have sided with Washington because of the undefeated.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, so yeah, there you go. You get your three undefeateds, and then you get your SEC runner up, which if
Was
you got
undefeated until the SEC championship.
yes, yeah, and then once I got to let the dog back inside 1 second, and then I'll you know
Yeah, so like Cole was saying, Georgia absolutely dog stomp Florida State a
I
hundred
didn't
to
say that.
nothing.
I didn't say that. You need to watch your mouth. You need to
Oh,
watch.
sorry, I didn't know you were back so quick.
Oh, dude, no, I could hear you. I wasn't. No, dog
Yeah,
back inside. I
I'm
didn't.
just messing with
I will say this. It's unfortunate, and it shouldn't have happened, and it can't happen again because we're going to 12 teams. But what I know,
Florida State will be back in the playoffs this year.
yes, and if we aren't, it's an absolute failure of a season, and there's going to be a lot of looking in the mirror. But I think Mike Norvell is going to win a national championship at Florida State. Mike Norvell is the coach of the future, and Mike Norvell is arguably got the best raw talent quarterback he's ever had in his career. When it comes to raw talent, DJU is a quarterback that was highly touted coming out. He was not in the best situation, I don't think, at Clemson. Following Trevor Lawrence, that guy was a stud in college. You got to follow that act. It's crazy. But I don't think that Dabo and his offense was tailor made for DJU as it was for Trevor Lawrence. And we have a lot of, we lost a lot. We lost a lot overall. But that's the thing that it's a next man up mentality. And what Mike Norvell does so well is gets in the transfer portal. And I think you're going to see a lot of new faces and a lot of new guys are gonna have to show up and show out. But from what I'm hearing, you're knocking the cobwebs off, but the defense is scary. The defense is going to be very scary, and I have no doubt in my mind on that. Pat Payton, All American, young receivers. They what I heard is they were pretty good, and then just the transfers are going to show up, and I'm fully prepared to be leading the NCAA in rushing attempts at Florida State this year, which is fine because that's the Mike Norvell offense is let's run the football.
I love it.
Oh yeah, no, ground and pound, run the football, and then get me a little pop play over the middle to our tight end. Like that's fine. And I think I would say the weakest link on defense is we're gonna have to put a lot of faith in our linebackers, and young linebacker. So like Blake Nicholson, but we have Cam Riley from Auburn. We went and got Murphy from Alabama. 5 Alabama transfers. Our DBs are going to be the best in the country. I have no doubt in my mind. You cannot throw it on Florida State.
I've got two things for you. Like we said a minute ago, Dylan is a big Clemson guy, right?
Yes, yes.
And he at first when he was like saw DJU leaving, he was like, all right, Cade Klubnik, he might be the guy. We might be in another Kelly Bryant, Trevor Lawrence, maybe kind of thing. You know what I mean? But when DJU left and went to
Oregon State.
Oregon State, it's like, yeah, dude,
He improved. His numbers improved.
dude, we screwed up. He said this is the guy. Like, and dude, I think Clemson's taken a massive step down this year, man. I really do.
Yes. Well, I mean, you saw the cracks
For
in
their
Jordan.
standards, for their standards.
Yeah, what is their
Like
standards?
6-6 season, like it's probably going to be another maybe an 8-win season, probably a seven, I think.
I know that their week one, they have to go on the road to Atlanta to play Georgia.
And they're going to get dog stomped.
Yeah, everyone's putting in a lot of faith. Everyone's putting in a lot of faith in.
Well, Clemson always has played Georgia well in the past.
Yes, I
But
want
last year, what it was 10-3?
no, no, a couple years ago, and it was it a couple years ago? I think it was a couple years ago.
I
Y'all
think
didn't.
it was last year.
No, no,
It
no, no.
was either last year or the year before when it was like
I
10.
think I was still living in Tallahassee when that game happened. It was 10-3, and that was just a. It was DJ was still the quarterback. It was 2021.
Gotcha,
I
gotcha.
remember. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was 2021.
I
So
got
I'm
another
thinking,
thing. I got another thing for you for Florida State. DJ Lundy, my dude.
dude,
Love that guy. Hell of a football player from Osceola, Georgia.
dude,
Um,
dude. He's our fullback. He's lost some weight too. He's slendered down. He was gonna
I
transfer to
saw
Colorado.
him. I saw him play in the state championship in high school. Saw
That's
him
all,
win state.
dude. That's awesome.
Sorry. I saw him might have lost state, but it
It
was
don't matter. He made it to state.
doesn't matter. But he was running the football and playing linebacker.
He's a
Biggest
dog. Yeah.
they're his high schools won a public, right? So you know it's not a big school, but they got some pretty big boys out there. You know
It's
they
Georgia football. Georgia high school football is
and
unreal.
but dude, he was easily the biggest dude on that field. He was the best player on that field, and him running the football was terrifying, dude.
Dude, he's our fullback. So you'll see him in the like
Playing
1 yard
defense at all?
goal line. Huh?
He's playing defense though.
Yeah, he's a starting linebacker, but Mike Norvell loves to use a
Outside,
fullback.
right?
Huh?
He's outside.
I think so. Funny enough, he's going to be I think, our veteran linebacker, and he's going to be kind of commanding things back there because he was going to transfer to Colorado, but then at the last second he went, "I'm coming back," and we ended up going to get Cam Riley, athletic freak. Cam Riley locked up Brock. He's like one of the only guys on the game. I watched some of his game film. He locked up Brock Bowers, and that's like 3 catches for like 57 yards and still a touchdown. But that's still like you're locking up Brock Bowers. You know what I mean? You know,
For standard of the numbers that Brock Bowers has put up in his career, that's a pretty light game. Not going to
that's
say
what I'm saying.
off,
Yeah,
but a
he,
light.
he slowed him down, and that's like kind of when you go up against some like players like that, slowing
Yeah.
him down is still a good thing. But DJ is a dog. DJ is going to be the head guy on that linebacker. The real leader of the defense is going to be Pat Payton. We have a scary defensive front. Pat Payton, Marvin Jones Jr. legacy transferred from Georgia. He's going to come in and he's going to start on that other side, I
He'll
believe.
start right away too.
Yeah, and and then we have Joshua Farmer and no, not is it Dennis Briggs? No, Jackson. Jackson, forgot his first name. The guy from Darnell Jackson and Joshua Farmer. That's just a scary front right there. And then our DBs are all. So I'm mainly looking at defense being a factor this year. And then our schedule
Florida State
is
has a lot of guys returning on the defensive side of the ball, and obviously you said
mm, kind of. It's more so than the offense. The
look, young
offense,
guys.
yeah. Our
We don't have, I was looking at the roster the other day because you don't have a lot of your older guys, the veterans, a lot of them are transfers, really kind of besides DJ Lundy, that are kind of going to be the leaders of the team, of the defense, especially in the linebacker core.
yeah.
But you've got a lot of young guys on that
Yeah.
team.
Oh, you're gonna see a lot of, but the beauty of it is those guys have sat for like a year or two, or maybe even 3 years behind the leadership of Jared Verse, Jermaine Johnson, all the big names that were on that defense. They've sat and they've watched and they know, okay, what's the standard that Mike Norvell holds? This is the season that Mike Norvell shows, okay, we're showing you why we're Florida State and why we're going to be one of the top 10 teams, top 5 teams going forward for the next X amount of years. And also the schedule is kind of, God, it so sucks talking about Florida State schedule because it we put our hardest games in the front last year, right? We put our hardest games in the front last year, and that didn't it didn't it didn't benefit us, you know, and it just dude, it sucks talking about last year. I know how good we were and like how even without Jordan Travis, I still think we would have won the national championship just off defense alone. That defense shut down a Louisville team. I can't get into it like this. I can't. Just let
I
me.
don't know about so far about winning the national championship.
Yeah, we would have
So
shown that.
I'll agree to disagree.
But our schedule's moderate. We obviously kicked
Question
everything.
for you is, so Florida State camp started.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
So is there any word of how the first 2, 3 days have gone?
This is I believe day one.
Day
Again, it's knocking the cobwebs off. You're not wearing full pads. I think it's just shells, and you're just kind of getting ready. Defense flying around. Brock Glenn looked really good too. The young quarterback, his confidence is there. The receivers were doing pretty good. I hear Kyle Morlock was pretty good as well. He's that D2 guy, the 6'7" tight end. So I'm gonna really need him to step up this year. You don't really see anything in the trenches when you do shells. Now we'll have to wait, but I'm really high on the O line again. That's our most. I believe we will have the most experienced offensive line in the country per snaps. Like those guys have played the most amount of snaps. So I'm feeling good, but it's just going through the motions. It's day one. You can't really get too excited about it. You need to get excited about game one. Game one is where you really tell, all right, how's this gonna look? Oh, and then a couple of new faces are gonna shine. Jalen Lucas is a speedy monster. His all-purpose yards are gonna be nuts. He's gonna be that halfback wide receiver kind of blend. And then yeah, I mean the young guys are gonna have to step up, and it's gonna be a new Florida State, but it's gonna be I believe this is the Mike Norvell offense that he likes to run with the type of quarterback that he likes to have, which is that like can run if he has to, not necessarily the Houdini act dynamics that Jordan Travis had, but can sit in the pocket, and deliver that ball, and then just pound the ball down your throat.
Yeah.
So it's going to take a couple days, but I'm excited. I'm always going to be excited, but yeah, things are looking up, and we're coming for everything this year. I'm not messing around. I'm not doing it. 12 team playoff. 12 team playoff. Watch out for my Knowles because they have that chip on their shoulder. There are people that have Miami over us. You're telling me a team that hasn't beat me in 3 years, and you got that? All right, get the chip, get that Doritos chip, put it right
I
there on
mean,
the
Florida State should be the odds-on favorite to win the ACC. I mean, obviously,
side with Clemson. I think odds wise, or just slightly above.
I, dude, I think no
I have
transfers,
measured that up, by the way.
no transfers. I think Dabo. I think we're coming not this year, but we're on the track to the end of Dabo Sweeney at Clemson.
He said
I
he'll leave on his own terms before they fire him. I
yes,
think.
yeah, they won't fire him. He'll step away on his own terms.
You want to hear the first 5 games that they have to play?
Let's hear it.
Clemson has to play Georgia in Atlanta. Then they have App State. I know you love App State. App State
Not gonna
coming
be
to
an easy football game. App State's a damn good ball team, as much as I hate to say it.
NC State comes to Clemson the following week, and NC
I
State has,
I hope they murder Grayson McCall. Not literally, but like they destroy him on the field and kick the
and
shit
then
out.
they have 3 home games, and then they host Stanford, who gives a shit, and then they have to come to Tallahassee. So that's their first 5 games.
Yeah.
They could end up being if Georgia goes wrong, which I think it will. Georgia will go wrong if they don't get up for App
They
State.
might be 2-3.
There's a chance exactly, and if NC State has got a NC State is a 9-win club every year, huh?
I mean, NC State's a top 25 team right now.
I know. That's why I'm saying it could be
Uh,
like how good is Grayson McCall? How good is he? I
Well,
don't know.
how good is Cade Klubnik?
Not good. I can tell you that right now. I saw him with my own eyes. I saw him get absolutely demolished.
Clemson, you still got Maffa. Maffa's going to be a good running back,
Yeah.
but like I don't know, enough of them. Enough of them. We don't have the Clemson intel. Enough of them.
I'm just saying Florida State defensively is going to be a shining spot. I'll have more in the coming weeks, but from like what
We'll,
I'm
we'll
hearing,
give we'll give a big rundown right
I'm
before.
excited for that one. I'm gonna be sure I'm off work. I want to get the boys in here. We're gonna go through everything. I'm game prep is starting for football season.
That'll be Cooper will give us a Bama take. You'll give the Florida State. I'll give the Southern one. Alec will give the Georgia one, and that's how we'll do it.
And then we'll go out through I say conference by conference, like the kickoff special predictions,
Who we think we're gonna win, like who we think is gonna be the worst team in the conference, like all of that stuff.
national champion, Heisman, all the works. I'm ready.
So to kind of give a little structure for this, we're about to dive into some Georgia Southern talk, if that's all
I'm
right.
ready. I'm excited.
So then we were going to talk a little bit of Olympics, and there's like two NIL things, and I got a little thing on the home run derby. So really, all of this episode is going to be straight college football. Pretty short episode compared to what we normally do. I guess somewhat short, not pretty short, but yeah. Then winners, losers, of course, Mount Rushmore as always.
We're locking it in. I'm ready. Excited for Georgia Southern, August 31st. I'm excited. And the new face mask. Come on now.
Okay, yeah, we'll jump right into it. New face mask, absolutely sick. We're rocking the white face mask, and Sunbelt Media Days have been going on. They went on yesterday was Southern's Day. Coach Shelton brought Jalen White, running back, and TJ Smith, safety. I guess he plays a little bit of nickel safety. He's an athlete. But yeah, so I'm trying to find. We
The
have,
two things I saw on from Sunbelt or Funbelt was the Georgia Southern helmet, and then I saw Louisiana Monroe's new helmet.
yes.
I give credit where credit is due. That is a hard helmet. I was a fan of Louisiana Monroe's helmet. I was like, holy crap, they knocked it out of the park with that one.
Also Caleb Hood, he is signed with the Hamilton Tiger Cats of the Canadian Football League.
I have thrown in some bets on the Canadian Football League this past week. Actually, I threw some bets in on the Tiger Cats actually screwed me. I had the Argonauts live bet money line and they lost by 3.
Yeah.
Tiger Cats' first win of the season. For those that don't know Canadian football,
So I found what I'm trying to find. So all Sun Belt Conference preseason first team, Jalen White, uh, definitely the number one running back in the Sun Belt right now, especially for recruiting wise to the NFL.
oh yeah,
Probably going to be the best running back in the conference. I'll get into a little bit of that in a moment. Derwin Burgess, receiver, going to be the number one receiver. Marquise Watson Trent has been on the podcast along with Jalen White. He is linebacker. Justin Rhodes, defensive lineman, and Isaac Walker, defensive lineman. So Rhodes and Isaac Walker. What year is Justin Rhodes and Isaac Walker? So anyway, Justin Rhodes and Isaac Walker have some legit. I've been hearing Isaac still has another year. Probably look him to see him return next year, as well. But Justin Rhodes has is going into his last year, but I've been hearing has some serious NFL eyes on him coming in the late rounds for the
that's
draft.
awesome.
So, he's still got to stay healthy. He's still got to have a good year.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
second,
I'm pulling up the Sun Belt preseason odds.
oh, really? Yeah. Yeah. We'll talk about that in a second. So, second team, we got Chandler Strong, offensive lineman. He's our center, I believe. Pishon Wembley, guard. TJ Smith, and DeAndre Buchanan at kick returner, special teamer. So yeah, but so what I was saying about Jalen White, we're Southern was at the Sun Belt Media Days. Coach Helton obviously got asked a ton of questions about the quarterback situation. And I think that, he's going to answer all the right questions. But I don't think he knows who the guy is. He might have, a guy that he's kind of favoriting right now at this moment going into camp they haven't started camp yet. So
Yeah.
you got
When do y'all
3.
start camp?
I believe next week. I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's usually a week after media days.
Yeah, so I would imagine probably middle of next week. I don't think they'd start on a Monday.
I guess since we're playing week 0, that's why they started it this week for Florida State. And I'm just kind of going off of because I think the NCAA there's like the timeline you have to start camp. So
Yeah, 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 yeah.
it's
But anyway, so
December.
yeah, he was just like, we got 3 guys, David Dallas, Dexter, and JC French. And, I believe that JC, well, I think that JC is going to be the starter game one. But I believe that we might see more than one quarterback on game one.
You have a tough game 1 too. You have Boise State coming to Statesboro, and that's not a slouch of a team at all. So you gotta
Yeah.
well, they ain't the Boise State of past, but it's
Well, they got a great running game. The thing is we got to stop that run.
yeah, yeah, no, of course. But I mean, you take them down here to the south, and you
Or
gotta
4 p.m. game in August.
4 p.m. That's a perfect time. And I think that you just have to kind of with the quarterback situation, you going in with multiple quarterbacks is always tough. It's
It's a
always
good
tough,
thing, though.
huh?
It's a good thing, though.
Yeah, when you have too many pieces of the pie, yeah, but you don't want to. I'm in the camp of you use that first game as like a tune-up, but you can't afford to lose that first game. You can't, and that's a big name school coming to Georgia Southern. And y'all are gonna show them why are they
Now
disrespecting
that
you?
it's a 12-team playoff, Boise State's got the same thing looking at us like, hey, this is game one. If we want to make this 12-team playoff, you got to win game one.
You do,
Well,
you
it
do.
starts with game one. It don't matter if you're playing FCS or you're playing Florida State, or whatever. You know what I mean? You got to win game one and make a name for yourself early on.
Exactly. You want to go out there and dominate, especially coming on the road cross country to another G5 school. You want it. It's serious. It's serious ball, and it's going to be a great game. And I'm looking forward to being there in person. It's going to be a time. It's going to be
Yeah,
a
I know.
time.
I'm looking forward to that. And to be honest, over the last decade, maybe 15 years, Boise State's been the premier group of 5 team.
They used to be. I think that when what was it? They've kind of fallen off. I think 2019 was like their real. I
Yeah,
mean, that was
you had a bad couple years, of course, but everybody's going to have, down years or whatever. But, it just kind of all started with Kellen Moore,
oh,
back.
I think it started earlier than that. It started when was he there? Was he wasn't the quarterback that beat. It started when they beat Oklahoma in the Fiesta Bowl. And
Yeah, probably. But anyway, I think the fan favorite right now to win the quarterback position is Dexter Williams.
Mhm.
Um, just because he's a bigger name coming from Indiana. Fans love that shit. But I will say one thing about some of our fan base as a whole is not saying that any of our quarterbacks are bad players, but I just don't think that they know ball.
Yeah, no, 100%. Just because he's coming from Indiana doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean he's gonna because he was at that Big Ten level doesn't mean he's gonna transition to the
We
G5
could
level.
see both of our transfer quarterbacks. I mean, JC has got a year under his belt at Southern, but he transferred from Memphis.
Mhm.
And, we could see both of our transfer quarterbacks being the backup.
You could,
You
you
know,
could.
we still got David Dallas. We don't know how good he's going to be.
Clay Helton didn't. Clay Helton is a good coach. It is a great coach, and he's in a great situation at Georgia Southern. And he knows he's going to know who to put in that. So you're saying that you could see multiple quarterbacks in game one. I
Maybe.
think I think you're going to go into that game one knowing who the starter is and who's going to lead your team. Yeah, you have to because Clay Helton knows how to throw the football. He does know how to throw the football, but the beauty of it is y'all are going to run it down their throat as well. You're going to be rushing the football a lot too. So
Yeah, so good point. That kind of, I was actually about to use that to kind of segue into it. So that's perfect, actually. So, like you said, it's just like we're going to run the football a lot more this year. And, last year it was more kind of like 80-20, maybe 70-30. I think we're going to be more true 60 passing, 40 rushing because you still got Jalen White, like we mentioned. Jalen White's a monster going into his last year, and you still have OJ Arnold as well. You got David Mbinga. Mbinga's a damn good running back. People forget that. Then you also have Terrence Gibbs, who's redshirt freshman. He's the future at running back for the Eagles, dude. Telling you, kid's a stud. You got four guys that can tote the rock.
How
Like
many years has Helton been at Georgia Southern now?
going into his third season.
So it's now is established, and he knows the Fun Belt is what I like to call it. You can call it the Sun Belt. I call it the Fun
It's
Belt
a
because
fun belt, man. No, it's a
yeah,
fun. Yeah.
I'm sorry, hot take. I prefer the Fun Belt over Maction. I said it. I prefer the Fun Belt over Maction.
Well, here's the thing why everybody loves Maction is because you get that Wednesday night game.
Tuesday and Wednesday, but I'm talking strictly. Yeah, I mean, I have watched Central Michigan and Western Michigan hit each other with two
The, the
howls.
premier,
And
the
was that?
premier group of five conference is the Fun Belt.
Oh, for sure. Oh well, I'm sorry, the American. I think the American
Wow.
kind of. I
I,
think
as a whole, the Sun Belt is the most competitive group of five conference.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Top to bottom, anyone could win it. That's why I'm taking the Georgia. That's when I was looking at the odds. I was sitting there like, dude, you'd be stupid not to take Georgia Southern plus 2250 to win the conference. And then, yeah, I mean, your favorite is those, up in Boone. Them
Yeah,
boys are the
the,
favorite. And then
the inbreds up in North Carolina.
Texas State is also got a decently good squad as well.
Yes, yes, Texas State is good. But, Coach Hilton did say in the media days that, we are going to run the ball a lot more. I don't know if that was in the game plan before Brian Ellis left Southern to go to Alabama. I feel sure it was. But, you have a new offensive coordinator, new guy calling plays as well.
Mm-hmm.
And, I wonder if Coach Helton has been maybe a little bit more involved with the offense of just play calling wise of like what he expects. He's not going to call the plays. That's his offensive coordinator's job. You know what I mean? But I think that maybe, I don't know this at all. Maybe he is just like, hey, like, we got to run the ball more. We got to trust these guys toting the rock. I expect X, Y, and Z parameters on what the game plan should look like. Not telling you how to call plays, but here's some parameters. You know what I mean? That might have happened in the past, but I just think that looking on last year, this year, I'm just kind of hoping he gets a little bit more involved with the play calling and not saying he isn't in the past, but I just think that we need to see a little bit more of him in it.
If you look at college football as a whole, the transition of the entirety of college football has gone to a we need to throw the football, we need to be real flashy, we need to spread it out, we need to do all that stuff. But the beauty of the game that is football is you're going to get all of these new types of offenses and stuff like that, and it's going to get to where everyone sees that, everyone knows that. We're going to get down to the point now where everyone's going to expect to spread out the ball, and these flat like these guys are not going to be ready for dudes to just pound the rock down their throat and just rush for 300 yards a game. Just boom, 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 chew up clock because it's such a fast paced offense, and it's that's what's great about football is you're going to get out of the you go from I remember when Oregon started doing the RPO spread offense, and Alabama was the one running the football. Now you look at it and Alabama is spreading the ball out. The SEC is having all these high scoring games, and we're probably I think we're going to go back to a pound the rock, do all that stuff. Dude, there are high school teams that are bringing back the wing T offense. If that like how crazy does that sound?
That's what we ran in high school.
Dude, there are schools that bring back the wing T and that just run that motion in the backfield, and you're just gonna, you use your skill players, but you get your big bodies up front. You're stacking. It's meat on meat, bone on bone, just big boys versus big boys, and who can push that line forward? Is it going to be you or is it going to be the defense? And that's what I love about football is like it's what's great about the game. And so when Boise State comes to town, your big boys are going to put meat on meat, and you're going to push them boys. You know that scene from The Blind Side where he just
People are
takes
saying meat on meat, dude. Like, say no Diddy afterwards, at least.
what's up, brother?
Oh,
Oh,
no
man.
Diddy. No Diddy. But yeah, like Coach Helton said it in the media days, we are going to run the ball a little bit more, and you got to trust your offensive line. You got a couple guys returning on the offensive line. You picked up some good transfers. You get a guy that goes from defensive line to offensive line, switching to guard, and you got so many guys that can carry the football.
Yeah,
Jalen gets a little tired throwing OJ, throwing in Binga, throwing Terrence Gibbs. But the best thing about every single one of them, they can catch the football at the backfield.
dude, I love a good halfback spring or screen. Just boom, just pop. Like I love when that play develops and that play goes well, and you see your big boy running that nice four,
Oh
like
yeah. Yeah.
4, 5, 8, and it's just boom, boom, and just like a truck, just boom, taking over a
Perfect
DB.
release by the offensive lineman, and they're just taking out everybody, and that
Oh, yeah,
comes into play.
dude, that is some of the big. Shout out to the big boys of college football
Shout out to the big boys.
big
You know,
boys.
the big fellows don't get enough credit at all.
Gosh, no, I know my boy. My boy Zane over. He starts. He's one of the guards over at USF. He's starting. You know, spoiler, my pick to make the playoff USF at the G5 level. But I tell that boy over. He's an 80 overall in the NCAA game, and I like he put it like there was a clip up there, and it was just like a computerized clip. It was like them playing. My boy in the game is just locking up a D lineman, and that when them boys start to pull and just are like a train coming down the track, and the
Beautiful.
big man touchdown celebrations are some of the best the game has to offer. I love the big boys because without the big boys, you don't have a team. It all comes down to the offensive line and the defensive line. That's
Comes
how
down
you.
to this, man. You got to win the trenches to win football games.
And Georgia Southern is going to do that week one. You're going to show them boys up in Idaho how the humidity and the heat and everything works down here in the
Yeah,
South.
they're gonna feel gnats landing on them. They're gonna be like, "What the hell is this kind of damn bug, man?" They
Dude,
don't
I
have
need my
a
get back. I'm being a Florida State fan. I've seen Boise State play live, and I watched my Knowles throw away a 13-point lead. But
this
that
is
again, that was
a
Willie
game.
Taggart.
This is the get back game. Get
Oh,
back
dude,
game.
let me talk to the Georgia Southern boys. I will be ready. Painted chest. I'll paint my face like Braveheart. I swear to God, I'll do it. I will
Yeah,
do it.
going back to the Eagles, one thing that kind of pops in my head that last year, just like one incident, and there was a couple incidences, but we're playing Georgia State. And we obviously beat Georgia State, I think, by 20 points last year. I believe.
Not enough.
We're driving. Jalen White's just running the ball. OJ's running the ball, having a great drive or two on the ground. Next drive comes around. Okay, let's start throwing the ball. And we're up by like 14 or something at that point. And it's like, if you just keep on running the ball, like if Davis ends up throwing a pick or something,
But
but
if you're up by that much, as long as it's not pick
you're
six, but
robbed.
like you gotta get the guys in a groove because if you're up by a substantial amount, you got that next week, where you got like I don't know who y'all played the week following, but it could be a big conference game. You know what I mean? If you're dominating, if you know that you're dominating, why not give the guys the wide receiver some love? Because you know that college football now is the wild, wild west. Because if you don't give your guys enough love, they could transfer. So you got to be able to spread it out, and you got to be able to, you know, we got to work in the passing game. We got to work on this. We got to work on that. We got to execute this properly. So I get what you're saying. If a game plan is working, why switch it? But it doesn't hurt to.
I just think my point is like we just got in a groove and running the ball and like throwing like quick outs and quick routes underneath, and you're getting good, no big plays, but you're getting a good drive develop, couple good drives in a row develop and then it's just like you completely disband the running game. So I guess like my point is like I'd like to see us when you're getting hot, even in the passing game, don't go away from it.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Stick with it, stick with what's hot. I just think that sometimes it's like, okay, we're running the ball a lot. Let's try to beat them over top real quick. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
like
It's like,
yeah,
okay,
let's catch him.
like,
How about catch him off guard? It's like
and
because you see,
it doesn't really always work like that. You know what I mean? Like sometimes that deep ball, when you got one man running deep, one-on-one coverage, that deep ball is usually a decoy. That's usually not your first option. You know what I mean? Which
Yeah.
is fine. You know what I'm saying? Touchdown's a touchdown. 6 points is 6 points. Doesn't matter how you get it. But it's like I think we went away with the things that we were going good on in certain games. So it's like I just feel like, whether it's a passing game or the running game, if it's hot, just stick with it. That's what
Yeah.
I want to see more of.
Yeah, no, that just stick with the yeah. If it ain't broke, don't fix it mentality. Get the young guys in again. Like you said, you have a good stable of running backs. Rotate them in. I mean, comparing it to Florida State, we have a good stable of running backs. We'll rotate like crazy. You know what I mean? Like you saw Trey Benson once
We
sold.
will. We will. We did a lot last year too.
So yeah, you're getting used. And again, that was his second. Then also it's Hilton's second year. Third
Uh-huh.
year is where you really kick off. I mean, the third year. I mean, it's crazy to say this. Okay, third, fourth year. COVID don't count. Mike Norvell's third year was last year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you build off these things.
I
So
just think like you make a good point because like the third year you start really seeing every single one of those guys are his recruits.
yes,
You
his
know,
transfers, his yes,
yes. This is, he's not dealing with the previous staff's, recruits or whatever. These are his guys.
yes, and this is who he brought in to show you like this is how we win the
Of
conference. This
course,
is
a couple of the older guys, that are still there from the previous staff, but like
they
the
bought in.
they
They
bought in, they bought into the culture. They bought in, the culture was there. Georgia Southern already has a good culture and a good football program, but we kind of lost it a little bit.
Yeah, in that sense, that can happen. That can happen.
It happens to everybody. You know what I mean? Like I feel sure, there was times that, before Norvell, Florida, you could say Florida State lost a culture a little bit. You know,
Dog, dog. We could do a whole.
exactly. But I'm saying like every single college football team is like they have a point in their program history that they quote unquote lose the culture. You know,
Yeah, Miami is still looking for that. Nebraska and Miami are still looking for their cultures. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
Exactly. And like they got great program tradition and history. Like Georgia Southern has a great program tradition and history. And I think that Coach Shelton really is channeling his inner Irk Russell.
Yeah, you got it. This is the thing. You got it. Georgia
Bring,
Southern.
bring
You
the
got
culture back, man.
Yeah, because if you start showing, this is his year to really show out to the boosters, to the athletic department, everything, because it all comes down to money. And if you want to grow the program to where we know where Georgia Southern can go, like we know the heights it can reach, being in the state of Georgia, being that third, like second, third best. Because now you have Kennesaw State, who's just moved up, and everyone loves the new
We're the
shine.
second best team in the state.
They're the second best team in
Put
the state.
don't put Georgia Tech over us. Come on.
They have a nice. They have. They have a national championship. Historically, I will say, they were famous for a while. I can't stand
Okay,
it.
in what 1940? Like
1990. 1990.
okay, was that year where they didn't even have a national championship?
Are you talking about where they split the title? Perhaps.
Okay, exactly. Well, I know it was FCS, but we got six. So
I understand. No, that's the thing. You're growing. Like you're big. It's kind of like yeah. Prime example UCF is because we have bigger teams in state. UCF is a prime example of that they're like now a big dog in the Big 12, and they have a shot at winning. Like you are
they got a
progressing.
shot at making the college football playoff. They really
They
do.
do. They have a legitimate shot. I mean, I don't think they will. Personally, I don't think they will. Maybe I would not shock me if Kansas and UCF are in the Big 12 title game. Would not shock me at all. I'd
No.
love that. Actually. I think that'd be cool. I'd be rock chalk jayhawking all over that, all over the place. But
Oh, me too. Me too, because my father-in-law is a diehard Jayhawk fan.
really, dude,
Yeah.
look at us just pulling,
He's
boom,
from
boom, boom, dude.
Kansas. He's from
Crazy.
Kansas.
Awesome, awesome. Congratulations again for the. I see that. I see it on the finger. It looks good.
This
So.
is the old silicone band. So
Oh, okay,
this is not
okay.
this is the work one, man. We're not wearing the real thing to work.
You should do the Willie Robertson and get it tattooed on you.
But see, that's what I thought. I actually kind of want that, but she said no. So we
Got
listened. We
Happy wife, happy life.
we listen. We listen.
Exactly, exactly. But yeah, I'm excited for the Eagles. I'm excited to experience Statesboro for the first time. I'm really looking forward to it, you know. And this is, you know, the years that like we just kind of saw each other on social media. I saw how much fun you were having in Statesboro and like how crazy. And I even would DM you every once in a while, like, dude, this is sick, you know. So like, I'm really excited for you to take me to you know your neck of the woods because not this year, but next year you're coming to my neck of the woods. All right.
Yeah,
You're coming to my neck of the
next
woods.
year. Next year.
Yeah, yeah, next year.
But
Which,
yeah,
yeah,
dude, but it's like I feel like for like a couple years when like we didn't really like talk or whatever, like it was always like when we would talk, it was like I'd see you at a Florida State game or like you see me at a Southern game, like that kind of stuff.
it's sports are bonding, bro. And the reason I will always love Georgia Southern, even before I met you and before any ties to it, they beat the University of Florida without completing a
Yeah,
single.
yeah.
I at the when y'all were at the FCS level, and oh that those clips, the all whites with the blue helmets and numbers, just running the ball down their
I was
throat.
there, man. I was there.
Cinema, cinema. Oh my God, I don't
There.
even.
I was
2013. It was the week before Florida State came to town and beat them 31-7 before our eventual national championship.
So I do have I'm going to kind of wrap up the Southern talk, but
Yeah,
I do have a couple guys that stand out to me that I kind of want the people listening to this to maybe be on the lookout for and for you to be on the lookout for as well.
we're just listen up. Let's do it.
So, wide receiver transfer from Oklahoma, LV Buckley Shantley.
Stop. That's one of the best wide receiver names I've ever heard.
LV, I'm telling you, stud, stud. Let's pull up the roster and see if they got if let's see if he's on the roster
Yeah.
because I don't know. Okay, he is LV Buckley Shelton. Sorry, I said his last name wrong. LV Bunkley Shelton. Transfer from Oklahoma. He's a fifth year receiver. He's going to be wearing number 4.
Dude, okay. I mean, sign me up for a number 4 jersey today.
Returning wise in the quarterback room, Cam Williams. He's a 6 year from he let's
Dead
see
cornerback.
corner. Yes.
Oh, corner on defense. I pulled up the roster as well on my
He's
phone.
a transfer from Washington.
Dude, they had some really good DBs out there. So he's gonna bring that to the
Yeah.
yeah, I like that.
He was on the team last year.
He was on the Washington. Oh, he was on Southern last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, I mean,
He was one of
Washington.
our starting corners last year. Terrence Gibbs, of course, in the running back room, redshirt freshman. Big name that a guy that I think is going to blow the hell up this year. Going to kind of take that Caleb Hood role in the slot is Dalen Cobb, junior wide receiver from Washington Wilkes High School out of Washington, Georgia. I
Hmm.
think Dalen is arguably one of the faster players on our team. And I truly think that this kid is going to blow up, man. Especially if he sticks with us, plays the next two this season and next year at Southern. He's going to be a legitimate draft guy.
Hey, I got a question for you. What happened in the month of November last year? Just just downward spiral. Did something
Don't
happen?
talk about it. 6-2 to 6-6. Yeah, we're not going to talk about it.
No,
Turnovers,
turnovers.
turnovers.
That's what we solved. Okay.
And then to finish out kind of the wide receiver room here, Um, of course, Tyler Fromm at tight end, transfer from Auburn, obviously. To kind of finish out the wide receiver room, we've got 4 guys in the wide receiver room that can catch the ball. You got Derwin Burgess, LV, you got Dalen, and you got David Dallas's twin brother, Josh
Gosh,
Dallas.
Dallas, dude, I'm just looking at it. He's yeah, yeah. I was like, dude, that's who I was looking at. He's
Six
got
6'2", 200-pound receiver, man. I mean, buddy.
you're
So
gonna have to have this guys.
I will have to say something about Tyler Fromm. Shout out Tyler Fromm. I actually got a chance to meet him, got to play 9 holes with him, ran into him on the golf course actually, uh, probably about a month ago.
Pretty
Um,
cool.
future guest of Water Hose Drinkers.
Hell
Uh,
yeah, dude.
sometime
Yes.
sometime in August, I hope. So Southern fans, Southern fans, by the way, we've got, I'm not going to, I just said that one, but I'm not going to say everybody's name. But we've got two more NFL guys that we're looking at. Um, One may or may not be a kicker, may or may not be in the AFC East.
Ooh,
Um, the
ooh.
other one may or may not be on an active roster in the NFL, may or may not be coming off back-to-back Super Bowl champs. So, and may or may not be getting inducted to the Georgia Southern Hall of Fame in October. So, do your research. You can find out who it is. May or may not wore number one and played quarterback and running back,
Dude,
when Georgia Southern beat Florida. So,
dude,
but yeah,
legend.
we got Tyler Fromm, of course. We're planning on getting that working out.
Any guy, any tight end that
That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. We've got a couple
single
players.
digit tight end goes nutty. Single digit tight end number goes
And,
insane.
hey,
Yeah.
6'5", they say 230,
Oh yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Tyler Fromm's an absolute unit.
Talking meat on meat kind of unit here, boys. Meat on
Not
meat.
saying meat on meat, dude.
I'm
Jeez.
sorry.
Golly. But Marquise Watson Trent, obviously. Two guys, two just big names for me on the offensive line are Chandler Strong and Pishon Wembley. I mean, preseason all Sun Belt second team. Great players. Isaac Walker, Justin Rhodes, of course, Mar, but a big guy for me, new face for the Eagles in the cornerback room. Chance Gamble from Fitzgerald, Georgia. He's a transfer from Kennesaw State, redshirt junior. He's got 2 years left. Kid's a stud. White boy corner. I'm telling you,
Dude,
arguably one of the fastest players on our team that I've been
dude,
hearing.
white boy corners went extinct. Look at us now. Look at them now. Look at them now. It,
I'm telling you, he's a G5 Cooper DeJean.
listen, a couple episodes ago, it was like maybe before a couple like a month or ish ago. What did I proclaim? It was a white boy summer. Okay, it is full. White boy summer goes into white boy fall, and in white boy fall, you're gonna see the resurgence of the unicorn that is the white DB.
I'm telling you, he's a G, mark my words, G5 Cooper DeJean.
Listen, you know what? Pick six first game. I'm calling it now. He's getting pick six first game. Calling it now. No,
That'd
I'm
be,
calling it now. I'm calling it now. And
that'd be
LV, my guy with the
too
greatest last
close.
name ever, he's gonna have
Two,
five
what?
catches, five catches, 126 yards, two touchdowns.
Shit, that'd be nuts. If we do that, we're blowing Boise State out of the
I'll
freaking.
do a score prediction.
They're gonna go straight back to Savannah, Georgia, and hop on that plane crying.
You're gonna beat them so bad that the plane ain't even gonna take off. They're gonna drive it. They're gonna Route 66 it back to Boise.
You know what we need to do, what we might can happen. I um I think you need to get baptized in Eagle Creek.
Okay, You know, it's funny. My high school was the George Jenkins Eagles. You
We
know, so
in high school too.
huh?
I've like all my schooling, Stratford Eagles, Georgia Southern Eagles, always been an Eagle.
I was a St. Paul Eagle. I was a Lawton Childs middle school knight, like a damn, like medieval. And then I went to George Jenkins Eagles, and then I was because I've done my tours of colleges. I was a Hillsborough Community College Hawk, a Tallahassee Community College Eagle, a Florida State Seminole, and now I'm a Florida Southern Moccasin, bro.
Moccasins.
Yeah, dude, kind of sick, dude, kind of sick.
But yeah, to kind of wrap up college football talk, I've got some local to me kind of chatter that's going around. NIL whispers Memphis quarterback commit Antoine Hill is the latest to sign a trading card deal with Leaf. The four-star recruit, quarterback from Houston County, Georgia, by the way, was once committed to Colorado and then went to and now is committed to Memphis. The rumor is that after signing this trading card deal with Leaf, he's getting 600 to 750K.
What? Trading card companies have that bread like that?
Apparently so. This kid's pulling in a bag.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean,
He's got one more year to play in high school too.
yeah, dude. I mean, I know. I forgot to mention this to you. Florida State High School Athletic Association just approved high schoolers can make NIL at the high school level in the state of Florida.
Let's go.
That got approved today, I believe. I saw on Twitter.
Yeah, but Antoine goes to Houston County Bears. I'm in the Perry Panther School District, so go Panthers.
Yeah,
But last thing I got on NIL, Texas Tech's softball transfer pitcher. Uh,
I saw that. I saw the
I'm
on.
gonna watch this. So Najeri Kennedy is set to receive roughly 1.2 million from Texas Tech.
I saw that.
Transfer from Stanford to Texas.
Najari Kennedy. Najari Kennedy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean that's
So,
the
dude,
Mountain Club.
I don't know if it's just me being stupid, but I've got a little beef with Rob Manfred and the MLB of just how poor marketing job that they do. And just like getting their name out there and getting the MLB out there. Like Mike Trout, number one, is such a marketable guy. And how is this guy not on every single commercial?
Oh,
You know,
dude, they did the worst.
especially like especially like young in his career, like, but I don't know if it was just me being so focused on NCAA 25 coming out, but I didn't even realize the home run derby was happening until literally mere hours before. I was like, oh shit, like the home run derby's going on? Like, didn't even know. Like, how is the home run derby should be advertised so much? I knew it was All-Star weekend, but I didn't know that the home run derby was taking place a week and a half ago.
Dude, I had bets in on the home run derby, and hold on. Dude, this is
I just
sorry.
wish they could have done a better job advertising it.
Yeah, they should have, I don't. I got a pro. I mean, the home run derby is not what it used to be. It just the format is so wrong. They tweaked it again this year. I don't know if you watched it. They
Oh,
tweaked
no,
it.
I didn't watch it because I was playing NCAA.
Dude, they did a mix between like they well, the beauty of the home run derby was like growing up, it was like we would just like see them like Josh Hamilton hitting what 32 in like the first round, like insane. Now it's like you have a 3 minute timer, you get a break. No, you have a 3 minute timer and a pitch count. Like they're only allowed to throw so many pitches, and
And
then it was like, oh, bro. Then they had the bonus round, but the bonus round's not timed, and you get 3 outs. But if you hit it a certain distance, you get go back to normal. Stop making it, like just put it back to. They have to incentivize this thing now. I'm pretty sure, like they like. I think there's like a cash prize or something. I don't know. Pete Alonso, by the way.
so
Pete
I think
Alonso,
it's a billion.
huh?
I think it's 1 million.
Yeah, and so there's got you're making it so guys that like you telling me Shohei Ohtani who's making 380 million is going to go out there and swing. No, it's not what it used to be. Put it back to what it used to be. Incentivize it a little bit better or easier. Like don't put an incentive on it. Like get the big names out there again and like I wouldn't say incentivize it because they're like, okay, I'm making this amount of money. I'm going to let my boy XYZ who's still on his rookie contract maybe make the million or whatever. But like we had it so exciting and perfect, and then they went and blew it up and made it into this crap. You know what I mean? And don't market it well. The MLB doesn't market well, period. So I don't know. I had Bobby Witt Jr. win the whole thing. So if he would have won if it would have went a foot further, dude.
He's
That would
been
have won
napping.
200.
He's been going crazy. But I know you had
Was the perfect if we're talking about marketing, right? Like the Olympics
yeah.
too. That's what we're gonna talk about. Like he's saying that the Olympics has always been like super exciting and all this other stuff. And I've been seeing commercials for it on NBC. They started. I had no idea that they had started already.
Why are the opening ceremonies on Friday or Saturday when the Olympics started today?
I don't know. I didn't even watch the opening ceremonies. I didn't even see none of that stuff. Like
It hasn't even happened yet.
wait, what? I'm
It
so
has
confused.
exactly. The opening ceremonies are after the Olympics start.
That doesn't make sense.
And
That doesn't make
it's a 4.5 hour event.
okay. Also, did you know that the surfing is in Tahiti?
No.
So there's Olympic surfing, and they're not even in like I don't. I'm gonna sound stupid, but my world
You're in
geography
Tahiti. Like that's awesome.
Tahiti. Yeah,
That's way better than France.
and guess what? They're not even staying. They're staying on a cruise ship as
That's
their
awesome.
dude. You gotta look it up. The cruise ship's crazy. It has like a crane on it. It's like, dude, they did it the right way, and they're real beds because you know that they have the sex-proof beds at
Yeah.
the Olympic Village. There's like social media is crazy because I'm seeing all of like everyone complaining about the beds and all that stuff. How they're like this plasticky foam. It's a mess. But the from what I saw, just like from what I saw from the opening ceremony was like they're gonna have them go down the river in all of their own boats, and then the fans are gonna line the sides of that famous river. I'm like, that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
But the Olympics already started. You know what I mean? They're like, it's not the spectacle that it used to be, and I don't
That's
know if that's because
it is.
COVID or whatever. Because I remember the UK 2012 UK Olympics were big. What was it in 20?
Beijing Olympics were
Oh,
big.
wait, dude, that was massive. The whole opening ceremony with the Spice Girls opened in the 2012 Olympics. Was it 2018? That wasn't the Russian Olympics, was it? That was the Olympics, or was it the World Cup? I get it all confused.
I don't know. I think 2018 might have been World Cup. But
Okay, yeah.
anyway,
So,
yeah, I mean, it just
by the way, Tahiti is in. I just wanted to is in the Pacific Ocean, if I'm not mistaken, and that's where the Olympic. They're doing the Olympic surfing is or whatever. I'm just saying they're marketing it like they've marketed it, but I didn't know when it started. And it's just not like the excitement that we used to have. I don't know if
are
it's
the
just
opening ceremonies after the Olympics start. Like there's people that can already compete in their event and be done competing before the opening ceremonies of the Olympics.
I saw something that there's a couple because they're playing there's a bunch of movement because of like the gymnastics took the basketball arena and then the basketball like there was like a bunch of moving around because they couldn't get a certain infrastructure built that the basketball players are playing all the way up in like northern France because there has to be like a roof regulation size and that some of the guys might miss a game because they're doing the opening ceremony. Like it doesn't make any sense.
That's
Is
so
it?
dumb. That's
I,
so
the opening ceremonies are so the opening games in Paris. Have they started? Have they not started? It says it starts in 1 day and 17 hours.
okay. So
And
it starts tomorrow, but the opening ceremonies are on Saturday.
I'm see I'm losing faith in the Olympics and their ability to put on something that we all can get behind because there's like no excitement and like America used to be super excited about. I remember watching it like every summer. I don't know if it's because they're having it later in the summer or something, but like
But this is usually about the time that they do it.
yeah, I guess I'm still out of it, but like I don't know. But funny enough, the yeah, like the featured events, the rugby sevens already started. Soccer started today. Like there's events have already like today, two American events have played.
That's so dumb.
Like
So dumb.
I can't, dude. It just doesn't make any sense. I know we're gonna dominate because we're America and we dominate every sport, but that's just where I'm at. The Winter Olympics 2032 just got chosen today as Salt Lake City. So
Good.
Olympics are
Good.
yeah. Oh
Um,
yeah, they've hosted I think like 3 or 4 times before, but
winner of the week. Who you got?
I had it. You go first. I'm trying to think who my winner of the week
I've
was.
got two. We'll start off with Xander Schauffele, and the other one is Bryson DeChambeau.
Yeah, yeah, that was a great video. The Breaking 50. If you guys haven't checked it out. Oh, I know who my winner of the week is because I just saw it today. Joey Cold Cuts
What happened?
drops tomorrow 1 p.m. There's a I think Cold Cuts did it. I think he also did it. What Bobby Fairways did.
Oh,
Hit a
with
hole in one.
oh yeah, I did see that.
It
Yeah,
was
yeah,
on Twitter.
yeah.
They said it drops tomorrow at 1. So I'm gonna just go ahead and fire away. But Joey Cold Cuts, winner of the week. Also, winner of the week, my stepdad. You throw it out there. I overslept golf and he didn't get super mad. I only missed 4 holes, but I'm buying him dinner. But he is also the winner of the week. He's the winner always, but shout out to stepdad. I had to throw them in there because
Go, go, go. Uh,
goats.
my loser of the week is nobody. I am not doing one this week.
Interesting.
So
Okay. Hey, that's a positive outlook on life.
yeah.
My loser of the week is that copycat Joe Burrow. I did it first, Joey B. I know it's getting dark out here because I'm doing it like kind of outside, but I did it first. You little copycat. You know what, Joey B? You're not. You're no. The Browns are winning that division. Okay, and The Browns or the Texans are going to the Super Bowl. But Joey B, you copycat me. That's why you're a loser of the week. You look great. Am I a little jealous? Maybe where is it a little bit better? Maybe. It might be just because of his raw athletic ability that I have a problem with it. I definitely wear the blonde better, but he's a copycat, so you're a loser week in my book for copying me. Good luck this season. I will give you that. Good luck this season.
Oh my gosh. So the Mount Rushmore this week, we've got Mount Rushmore of what we believe is the best college football 25 dynasty rebuilds. So for
Yes.
me, I am taking Georgia Southern out of the equation because we all know that is obviously my number one.
Yes. Yes.
I'll go first.
Go
My
ahead.
first honorable mention goes out to Texas State. Program on the rise right now. They've got a pretty solid roster right now, good quarterback, good rebuild. So they won their first bowl game in school history last year,
Mhm.
and good rebuild.
Yeah, no, it's a good time. No, Texas State on the come up. Great, the Bobcats.
Yeah. Um, Second honorable mention goes out to Vanderbilt. Obviously, the worst team in the SEC. It'd be fun to, take the, you know, worst to first.
Oh yeah, yeah. In
Uh,
Nashville, of all places, if you imagine that Vanderbilt could get the recruiting going, I mean, Nashville is such a hotbed for like a good time. Like, you know,
but yeah.
I don't know.
Number four, Hawaii.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I have them too.
Number three goes out to shout out group of five guys, Middle Tennessee State.
Oh, the blue. They just yeah.
Ooh, the
Just
Blue
fired.
Raiders.
Yeah, they just fired a Florida State legend. But it was
Yeah,
time.
he's a Middle Tennessee legend too. So
Yeah, it was time. But he's on Florida State's staff, and I believe in like an analytical role up in the administration. So
number two, I'm gonna go back to the Power Five here, Nebraska.
okay, yeah, no, as you should. Yeah, Nebraska. It's Nebraska.
Number one, Kennesaw State.
Oh, okay. Showing a little love to cross
A
state.
little love, go Owls, baby. Showing a little love to the boys up in Kennesaw, Georgia. So
Love great uniforms from what I'm seeing on NCAA. Great
yes,
uniforms.
yes, yes, yes.
Time. About time. So proud of them boys. They made the jump. Let's see what they do. See what they
Yeah,
do with it.
the worst rated team in the game. So first year in the FBS. So we'll
Yeah.
see how this one.
Wait, really? Over they're worse than Sam Houston?
They've got the worst overall rating in NCAA 25.
Interesting. Interesting. They're the UTSA of this game. I remember 14, very NCAA 14, that was UTSA. But I'll start. My honorable mention goes to USF. I love them boys over there. Go Bulls, and shout out to my boy Zane. Like I said earlier, when they get a new stadium on campus, which they've gotten approved for, then we'll be able to put them up in the Mount
I didn't
Rushmore.
know your buddy played for USF. I think
Yeah, transferred. Yeah, transferred from Florida State. Good friend of mine. He's their starting guard. Like I said, yeah, good
can
guy. I'm
you
rooting for them.
you think you can pull it off of him getting on the pod?
Yeah, actually, I think I could. I did have to reach out to him. I'm trying to link up golf with him in the next couple weeks, but definitely, yeah, 100%. I'll give him a shout and let him.
Just try
You
to
know,
get the pod with him soon. If you
I
want to.
bet. Yeah, for sure. I think Zane would love that because he started at Florida State. He's from Madison, and he's a good guy, great guy. Rooting for him, and I think he's gonna pop out this year. Really pop out and show out. But yeah, honorable mention goes to USF over in Tampa. Great market. So we'll go with them. My number four is Hawaii. Okay, love it. I've done them before in the past. I love Honolulu.
Great uniforms.
Great uniforms, great uniforms. In the past, they've had great uniforms as well. Number three, Georgia Southern Eagles. I put them in mind. I was not able to use them back in the day.
Love it.
Um, yeah, number two. Air Force. I think they are the forgotten service academy, but they've always been in a conference. They are, they got great uniforms too. I love Colorado Springs. You get those snowy games over there, and they're out in the Mountain West, which is just a fun conference. I get, that you can play in.
They're
Um,
the best service academy team this
yeah,
coming.
yeah. My stepdad also was in the Air Force, so we're an Air Force family. Granddad was in the Air Force. And then my number one, it's mainly because of the movie, but the Marshall Thundering Herd. I love, just playing with Marshall. I think that's a fun school, and I love the story behind it. When Bobby Bowden
As
was at
well.
West Virginia, huh?
Cool uniforms as well.
Oh God, just the fact that they could just be like everyone else and be like the Bison or whatever. But the Marshall Thundering Herd, and this will still definitely get updated for me in the Mount Rushmore once if they can go back and they can add in some FCS schools, maybe some HBCUs, into the game, then I definitely will readjust my list. I'd love to play as FAMU.
Yeah. Mercer would definitely take the list for me.
Furman, dude. I'd love to play Furman.
Oh, dude, that's Mercer's rival, bro. You can't do.
I'm a Furman guy. I'm a
I
Furman
know.
guy. Go Paladins, baby. And then
The
out
Mercer Bears in Macon, Georgia, bro. Come on.
Uncle lives in Greenville. Uncle got married at Furman, dude. I'm all for the Paladins. But Montana Grizzly, Montana State, and then
Oh,
the South
yeah.
Dakota and North Dakota teams, dude. Those are teams I definitely would love to play as. And I know the team builder aspect you can play at, like you can download them into the game. But yeah, man, I want to see them I want them to cover all of the levels of college football, like at the FCS level, the HBC, like the HBCUs. I want them to do the whole thing because I'd love to schedule those teams. Like I'd love to play Florida State versus FAMU or the Citadel. I'd love to bring those schools back into the forefront. But yeah, definitely that's my Mount Rushmore. Marshall number one, Air Force. It's a
For
good
sure.
time. But always starting with my dynasty with Florida State. Always, always.
Yeah, I'm always going to be, with Southern. That's going to be the team, but I had to take him off the list for this
I
situation.
got you. I got you, big dog. I got you. I'm gonna rock with them boys.
I tried to get an unbiased list, so as much as I could.
hmm I got you. But yeah. Anything else?
Dude, good pot.
Great
Good.
pod, great pod. It feels good to be back slugging that water hose. You know what I'm saying? And we got a big fall plan too. We got a big fall plan. I
Big
can't wait.
fall. We got a lot of things for the podcast coming up here in the next month or so before football season starts. So
Hey, hey, you let me know because we'll be getting the August 31st. Mark your calendars, boys.
for sure.
Cole takes on Statesboro. I cannot wait, and I'll be a year older too, 26.
For sure. We'll
Oh,
be doing a pod from Statesboro that weekend as well. So
and I'll be in my giddy up.
hopefully everyone's stuck around for this podcast and stay tuned for the YOUNGHOE KOO interview.
Yes, check that out. Please
Check
check
that
that out.
out. It's also
Okay.
on Twitter. If you don't get a chance to, hey, I got to go do something. I don't want to go scroll through this YouTube video to go find the interview. Go to our Twitter, and you can find the interview there as well. So
We'll both retweet off our socials. Make sure you follow us, follow all the boys. We're gonna get some movement on this pod. We're gonna get it to Mars. We're not even going to the moon. We're going to Mars. You know what I'm saying?
these interviews that we got coming up are really, really going to help out with that as well. Hopefully, this YOUNGHOE KOO is going to help. The interview is going to help out a lot
Oh
too.
yeah.
So, but yeah, be sure to like and subscribe and appreciate the episode 33, Cole. And
And keep having me. I love you guys. Sling that water hose. Sling it, guzzle it, do everything you can with it. Do it.
oh yeah,
All
and
hard.
shout out Taylor Henson, true water hose drinker.
True
Love,
water hose
yeah,
drinker.
love
Oh
it.
yeah. Let's bring
All
it on.
right,
Do it.
all right,
See
Cole.
you,
I'll see you. See ya.
big dog. Appreciate you.
What's up, everybody? This is Alex Smith with Water Hose Drinkers. I'm here with good friends Joshua Bevel, Cooper Roberts, and a great friend of the podcast, a very special guest, YOUNGHOE KOO. How's everybody doing today?
Doing good.
I'm good. How about yourself?
Dude, I'm doing great. We were talking about it a little bit before. I've been grinding NCAA like nobody's business. I'm doing Georgia Southern rebuild on all of the hardest settings. I'm in year 7, still have not gotten a natty, got a couple of Sun Belts, couple of bowl wins, but this is our year in
7.
31.
Year 7, that's insane.
Year 7. How many hours is that, bro? God.
That's got to be a
Well,
ton.
I've
Dude,
been like in the games and trying to do the recruiting. So I'm trying to get it to where Georgia Southern can flourish without me playing every single game.
Well, with NIL now, you can just buy the whole program, no?
well,
Yeah.
in the dynasty mode, you can't do NIL.
Ah,
It's only in Road to Glory. But the
kind of.
transfer portal's there.
Okay, that opens it up a little bit.
So like I just finished season 3. Like I haven't started season 4 yet. And I've been simming some games, like playing like all offense, which is, I mean, it goes by way quicker when you just play all offense. So like I won in season 3. But
Okay, so you kind of semi cheated. You didn't do the whole thing.
yeah, semi cheated. I'm not on season 7 like an absolute addict, but you know,
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's
Playing
insane.
both
That
ways,
was
7 seasons. Jeez,
yeah.
both
So
ways.
what I've been
I
doing
respect.
is I've been taking like 15 to 20 guys out of high school and then like all the rest just load up in the transfer portal.
Dude, the kicking on this game is so hard.
It's
I
I think I
saw that.
saw. I think I saw a post on Instagram about that. It was like just spazzing out and just the kicker
It
meter
looked-
was just spazzing out on there, huh?
cool.
If you're in an environment or have an inexperienced kicker or it's a really big moment, that needle is moving so quickly, and I've been shanking kicks just left and right.
Jeez.
God. That's why you got to go for 2. It's a video game, man. Go for it on 4th down. Go for 2. Screw it. You don't need a kick.
I mean, on Madden and NCAA, you're kicking field goals. I don't know, you're doing something wrong. I feel like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, true. But
Dang.
I'm a firm believer you would have at least been a 92, 93 in the game when you were in college.
I'll take that all day.
No, for
Because
sure.
the only reason I would say 99, but I'm just like, okay, you know, the highest rated player I think is a 95 or 96. Maybe
Hey,
Austin Gordon out of Oklahoma State. I don't know if he's a heighted, maybe a kid from Michigan, maybe. But like, you would have been the highest rated kicker. I'm telling you.
I mean, anything in the '90s is pretty solid, man.
Oh
That'd
yeah, dude. I think
For
Jake White is like a 86, maybe.
Not bad.
Yeah, I think him and Marquise Watson Trent, I think Mars like an 84, 85. So I think we got like Southern's got like 3 or 4 guys in the 80s.
It's pretty good.
But
Heck
like
yeah.
the rest, there's not a starter on the team that's not in the 70s though.
No, got
But
some work to do there.
to kind of segue into it, I guess I'll kind of jump into Madden here. Besides the Falcons, who's the go-to team?
I don't play Madden, so I don't know, bro.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Okay. I didn't.
never got into Madden or NCAA. That's just throwing it out there. That's just I don't know. I just never got into it. I was not a video game guy growing up. I think I played like FIFA here and there, but now just play some Call of Duty and FIFA and stuff like that. But I don't know. Never got into Madden.
Well,
What
there was an interview that came out from I believe maybe Taylor Heineke. I don't know. I can't remember, but somebody on the Falcons, maybe he went on Bussing with the Boys or somewhere. It might have been Bijan. It might have been Bijan on Bussing with the Boys. He said you were the best FIFA player on the team.
I'll take that. I mean, I'll take that challenge. I mean, we do have some gamers. I mean, there are gamers everywhere, like in the league, I think. But I don't know. I think I'll take the FIFA title.
Who do you think's the biggest gamer on the Dirty Birds?
Ooh, there are a lot, bro. I mean, there
Give
are a
us a
lot.
couple.
I mean, when I get on the game, I mean, these boys are dropping like 20 plus. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, I don't know if they're cheating or what, but the boys are going crazy.
That's funny.
Is there anyone like that's known throughout the league that's like this guy's the gamer? Like not necessarily on the Falcons, but everyone's like this guy, he can get dirty on the sticks.
I don't know. I think a lot. That sounded weird, but that sounded. But I think I heard about Kyler. He plays, but I think there are just overall just like a good like amount of guys that are just really big gamers. You know,
Yeah.
So many
I've
people.
seen like away games, like little gaming laptop type. So there guys are dedicated, bro.
Oh yeah.
What else do you like free time?
Huh?
What else do you like to do in your free time if you're not a big video game guy?
Go out there and shank some balls on the golf course, and then just chill out, bro. I like to just relax on the couch, think about how I can get better at golf, and that's about it.
KOO, I've played one round of golf with you a little over a year ago, and I think I lost probably 30 golf balls in that golf round.
Yeah, I mean, it's a humbling sport, man. It's a good mental game for me, you know, getting ready for the season and all.
Well, what
It's
what's the
definitely
what's the handicap looking like nowadays?
Haven't gone into single digits yet. It's at about a 10 right now, which is fine.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm at a 14 right now, so I'm right behind you.
yeah, I just like to bring a high handicap, good vibes to the, scramble tournaments. So that's about it.
So I guess so kind of since we're asking about some teammates, I mean, who's like the guys that you're gonna play with, or like, who's the best golfer? Like, what's your average, good foursome on the golf course?
Me and Haneke play a lot. Um, and Kyle, I play with Kyle a lot. Pitts, freak athlete. Actually, he picked it up like maybe a year ago, over a year ago,
I think
and
you're telling me about that.
yeah, he's gotten lessons and like probably one of the quickest, like a year and a half, less than 2 years, and guys looking good. When I first got to the Falcons, there were some older guys. Like Matt Ryan was a stick, and some older guys been around. Those guys were scratch golfers, and then now, I think our staff would absolutely destroy us in a golf match. Some former quarterbacks on the staff, so those guys are pretty dialed in. So we got to, as the players, we got some work to do, man.
Well, they're not putting their bodies on the line every day like you guys. So, they might have their recovery time is on the golf course versus y'all's are, in the training room or whatever that may be.
I mean, you would think that would help on the golf course, but it doesn't really translate like that.
Hey, Kyle Pitts, that's a big dude swinging a golf club too.
Yeah, bro. I mean, when we're on the golf cart, like drop a ball, like picking up a ball, like he just kind of like scoops it up, and I gotta like bend over, damn near falling out the cart. So it's like, yeah, that's a unicorn for sure.
I actually, I don't, Alec and Cooper. Alec, I might have told you this. Cooper, I don't think I have told you this. Who last week I was on my honeymoon. We went out to Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
Nice.
And so I was sitting at the bar one night, me and my wife were, and the guy was like, "Oh, like, we're from Georgia or whatever." And he was like, "Oh my gosh, you just missed Matt Ryan. Like he was here 30 minutes ago."
Damn.
Like staying at the same place as us, like all of this. And I'm like, dude, like how the hell did I miss Matt Ryan? And it was my last night there too.
Dang, man.
Nah,
I was so upset.
that's tough.
Brutal.
But
Did you get to play a couple rounds out there?
yeah, I played one round and I shot 87. I didn't play great. Driver was off. My only problem, what I struggled with on up there was the distances, man. You're hitting the ball so much further than you are. Like I don't hit the ball long off the tee, but when I was hitting it straight, I was averaging about 275.
Maybe it's the altitude.
I mean, 87 is pretty good, bro. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have a whole lot of three putts. I just couldn't find the fairway. So then it resulted in I'm playing off the edge of the green most of the time. But I mean, like I don't hit the ball long at all. I hit a 7 iron 100, almost 180 yards. And that's just like, I really don't even, I hit my 6 iron tops 175 on a good day here.
Mm. You gotta get into weight room, brother. You gotta do some work.
Hey man, I'm 69 inches tall, about 160 pounds. There is not a whole lot of muscle in these jeans.
Yeah, just by 69 inches tall.
I did. I had to specify that. You can ask Alec. If you look at me and Alec, the lean gene runs in our family.
We were built for cross country, and we don't run either.
Hey, I ran cross country senior year of high school, so it's all right.
Right, that's a blessing, bro. You don't run and you got cross. That's a blessing. You don't got to run and you stay skinny. That's nothing to complain about there.
What's
Well,
that high metabolism?
yeah, that and when you're working in 100-degree weather every day, constantly drinking water, that also helps. So,
There you go. Okay.
but I guess kind of segue off of that, Koo, we'll kind of change topics and just I guess just give a background on yourself. I feel sure most people watching this, and as well as we know, being from Korea and moving to New Jersey, correct?
Right.
Yeah, just kind of just I guess give a little summary of your life story if you don't mind, and how you got to Georgia Southern.
So I was born in Korea and then moved to New Jersey in sixth grade. I think I was 12, 11 or 12, something like that. Um, that was a tough transition because I didn't speak English at the time when I first moved. So I was in ESL for about 2, 3 years. Grew up playing soccer, so I joined the club soccer team and got introduced to football. I didn't know what football was. That's not really a popular sport, if at all, in Korea. So kicking was something that came naturally to me. Growing up playing soccer and all that. So in middle school, I picked up football in seventh grade, um, and I fell in love with it, man. Like I played soccer and football in middle school, seventh grade and eighth grade. But in Jersey, football and soccer were in the fall, so I had to make a decision on which sport I was going to play in high school. And um, I guess we had like a family meeting, and my dad was like, I mean, if we were in Europe or something, we would go with soccer, but we're in America, so let's choose football. And I would say he made the right choice. We went with football, man, and I loved it. The physicality of it, kicking was something that came naturally, and naturally I was, better at. But I loved playing ball, offense, defense, and all that stuff throughout high school. Had a lot of fun, and then I knew I was gonna kick in college. I just didn't know where. I had half a scholarship from James Madison, and then Georgia Southern came out of nowhere. I think Coach Munkin at the time flew to my high school with Coach Saturnio and Coach Mitchell. So it was three coaches that came to my high school, including the head coach. And I never saw a head coach come recruit a kicker at the high school in person. So I was like, well, that might be serious. So me and my parents took a visit to Georgia Southern, and we, I loved it. My parents were also greeted by about, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 Korean professors that Coach Munkin set up so they can show them around so I can explore on my own on my official visit. And I thought that was pretty special and thoughtful because when I went to official visits at other places, I had to, translate for my parents and I was kind of hanging out with them. But Coach Munkin being thoughtful and doing that kind of freed me up to really explore Georgia Southern and the campus and all that stuff. The plaza at the time, had a great time, and yeah, man. And I just told my parents there that was really one of the like major decisions my dad kind of let me have, and that was when I told him, it's like, yeah, I want to come here. I'm gonna uh, commit to Georgia Southern. It was a family thing. All the teammates that I met at the time on the visit were welcoming, and I felt wanted there. So I was, more than glad to commit to Georgia Southern, and it was a little different. I think the furthest south I looked at was Virginia. So James Madison, UVA, stuff like that. But then Georgia Southern came out of nowhere, and I remember I walked into my high school, and my high school coach said Georgia Southern called and they were going to offer you a scholarship, and I was like, "Where the hell is that?" I don't know where that was. Somewhere South Georgia, I guess. But yeah, when I took that visit, everything changed. I loved it. So that's how I ended up in Statesboro from Jersey. A little bit of a culture shock in the beginning, but when you're a part of a team, it's kind of easier because you mingle with your class, and that transition definitely helps. So yeah, man, that's my story of how I ended up at Georgia Southern.
Yeah, so going back to high school, what other positions did you play besides kicker?
Played wide receiver, but we ran wing T. So I actually watched triple option for 8 years of my life. So we ran wing T in high school. I got tired of blocking out there, so I went to defense and played corner and safety.
Okay.
And you had 6 interceptions your senior year, did you not?
Yeah, something like that, I think.
Something slight.
Did you do
Slight.
some research before this, Alec? Is that how you found out?
I may have done a little research.
That's
Hey,
funny.
Younghoe, can you tell me about your experience transitioning from kicking a soccer ball to a football? And I ask this because it's been a running debate among me and my friends. I played soccer in high school, but I never could kick a football. So, what was your experience like?
It's a different swing. But if you grew up playing soccer, you have that foot-eye coordination. So you will be able to pick it up, but you have to change it a little bit. It's more of a vertical swing. Like with a soccer, you can be swipey and you can curve the ball and shape shots. But if you're shaping shots with the football, you're missing kicks. So you don't want to do that. So it's more of like a pendulum motion, I would say, compared to a soccer ball. It kind of becomes more vertical swing straight up through the ball versus kind of swiping sideways. Um, but I think if you play soccer, you'll be able to pick it up within the first practice.
Maybe I just wasn't that good at soccer. So,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't I don't know what the problem is there, but
No, kicking a football was never an easy thing for me because I could never, when I played soccer my senior year, I could never figure out which foot was my dominant foot because I kicked so bad with both feet. It's like I don't know which one's my good foot because it's just not going where it should at all.
I guess both are bad then. Yeah. Were you good at throwing, or were you just not, hands, or bad with both feet and hands? What you got going?
I was an all-star cornerback in middle school.
Okay.
Football, but my claim to fame, I did score 3 touchdowns in high school at quarterback, one passing, one rushing, and receiving. So it's my claim.
Nice. That's a pretty good stat, bro. I don't know how you managed to do all that at quarterback.
Hey, double pass and running the old wing T,
Nice.
QB sneak right on the half-yard line, and then touchdown pass inside the goal line. So, I didn't really have to do much there.
Not bad.
But hey, six points is 6 points.
Hey, scoreboard doesn't have, what do you say in golf? Scorecard doesn't have pictures or something. It doesn't matter how you get there.
That's right.
That's true. That's 100% true. But next question I got for you is, how was the transition from high school to college? Coming from, of course, New Jersey gets hot in the summer times, but coming from a naturally cold atmosphere and coming to South Georgia, was that kind of different from you like kicking the ball? Like how do you, I guess my question is how does it affect you in cold weather versus warm weather? Like how is it kicking in the cold really?
Kicking in the cold sucks. I mean, the ball's hard. You got to do extra stuff to stay loose. So it was an easier transition coming to Statesboro because it was hot. I mean, I think it's hot anywhere in the summer. Like even in Jersey, it gets pretty hot. But I don't, I would rather kick in the hot weather than cold weather any day. So that wasn't too bad of a transition. But I growing up in Jersey, like having the ability or having the experience in cold weather games. Like I think there was a game I played that we had like snow like knee height and with like shovel the sidelines and the yard lines and stuff. So having that experience definitely helps. Like when we played like Navy, at Georgia Southern and some cold games that we've played, but it is definitely an easier transition, going from cold to hot because the ball flies better and all that stuff.
Two cold games that kind of just popped in my mind when you said Navy. One is Navy, but the other one, cold and wet, first bowl game, GoDaddy Bowl, man. I remember watching you kick 50 yarders. I swear, you were making 50 yarders in the cold and the rain in warm-ups that day.
It wasn't that cold though. It was just windy and it was rainy. So, the wind definitely helps a little bit. But I remember my freshman year, we played at App, and that was brutal. Like that place gets rocking, and that place was cold. I remember that. Um,
Well, the one thing about App Stadium, I feel like it's kind of, well, not like Buffalo. So I guess a cold weather question would be a better question for Tyler Bass. But
no doubt. Yeah, I mean, I think this year we got 11 dome games, and we open up the roof sometimes. So not the right person to be asking cold games. I tell me and Tyler, we talk every Saturday in season, and we talk about the week and going into the game. And he's like, "Yeah, it's about wind chills with like 20 degrees and got about 30 miles per hour wind gusts." And I'm like, "Yeah, the AC might be blowing a little hard indoors tomorrow, but
Yeah, it's 72 and calm here in Atlanta.
Yeah, they
yeah,
might
I
open the
mean,
dome up, maybe
they
not.
they open the roof and it creates a little bit of a wind swirl, So
Yeah,
One thing last I gotta say about App is like I was kind of like comparing it to the Bill Stadium too. I feel like the wind gets trapped in there as well because like you're in the mountains. It's like obviously on the away side, it's a shorter stands than the home side. So I feel like the wind just funnels into that stadium. But
yeah.
I guess we can stay on Tyler Bass. What is y'all's obviously y'all have a good relationship, but did it kind of start, right away when Tyler got to college? I guess just kind of talk about y'all's relationship and, do you think, having another kicker in the league that you've been in college with has helped you with your career as well as his?
Yeah. When he first came in, like he had a good leg and he was redshirted my junior year. And we had like 10 specialists, maybe 12 at the time. He had a chip on his shoulder, like, just like any other college player, I guess. Feel like we deserve better. And he did though. But he came in as a walk on and he fought his ass off and got the scholarship. But when he first came in, we had a great time competing, man. And that kind of grew into something more than just like competition on the field and off the field. Like, we grew closer from that stuff. And the mindset wise, it made each other better. Because competition does make everybody better. But having a world class leg like Tyler does and just competing in practice daily, it was beneficial for both of us. And when I graduated, like it's not like Alabama where they have 20 guys go first round every year, where there's like a pipeline of steps of like, this is how you get your agent, this is how you do this, that, whatever. So I kind of had to figure that out on my own, and it was tough, but you don't know what you don't know. So when I went through all that stuff and Tyler was coming out, and felt like he had a great chance of getting drafted because he established himself pretty well at the college level and had a great senior year and overall body of work. So I called him and we kept in touch, but I called him to let him know with everything that I went through so he can at least like learn from my experience and what to expect going into that draft process. So all that stuff hopefully helped. And then, off the field, we became really close friends. And his rookie year when he first got into the league, we FaceTimed every Saturday. And that kind of stuck with our routine. So we'll talk every Saturday before the game, making sure like, hey, how did the week go? What swing thoughts are we going into tomorrow's game, and stuff like that. He and I mean, everybody got busy schedules in season, but we make sure to do that weekly. And then in the off season, we get together, play golf, or kick together and all that stuff. So the relationship has really blossomed into something really great. It's a close friend of mine, and it made us better in college. But now, he's one of my best friends. So in life. So that's pretty special.
Your last year at Southern, was he doing kickoffs and you were doing field goals? Am I correct?
Right. So he was kicking off, and then I was kicking field goals. I think I got hurt during that training camp, and coach didn't want me to kick off, but also not to take anything from Tyler, that kid had a cannon. So it's like, yeah, man, just let him kick off, and I'll just focus on field goals, and it helped out. It was good.
And it definitely made y'all better in the long run, especially him getting some early experience, as a redshirt freshman, probably at that time, I think.
Right. So that was his first year playing, and then I think he played 3 years after I left, um, and he just took over and had a great college career. So yeah, I think I went to his senior day to watch, and that was my first time back at Georgia Southern after I left. So that was pretty cool. I had to catch his last game in Paulson, so that was cool.
Who's the better golfer?
Tyler, man, that boy is like a 3 handicap.
Really?
Dang.
And he hits it farther than probably anybody I've seen. So I don't think I mean, he's not like a big dude, you know what I'm saying? But he's twitchy. So like I've seen him carry 340. Like it's
He,
crazy.
That's crazy.
he's a very, very sneaky athlete.
Yes, he is. He's you know, I mean, golf game's crazy. And guy's explosive, man. I think he grew up playing soccer as well. So I think every kicker thinks that if we didn't kick, then we would be a professional soccer player. So
Next,
Well,
go ahead, Coop.
so I was saying, if we're on staying on the topic of you and Tyler's, relationship and in season stuff y'all do all the time. Kind of, what is it like for you? I guess you have your certain things you do in season. So, what is it like for you, like on a game day? Kind of like if you don't mind, like walk us through, like kind of, you have any rituals or stuff you do on game day that you like to make sure you get done before you go out there and tee it up?
just the warm up stuff. I mean, nothing crazy. I'm not really superstitious or anything like that. I just go out early. I take the earliest bus. If I think I take the bus before the early bus. I don't like to rush things because I don't feel like rushed. And if I'm rushed in the morning, getting to the stadium and getting ready, then I feel like I'm rushed with my swing and the pregame routine. So I just like getting there early and taking my time with everything. And if I feel like I need longer time to warm up, then I have that. And if I just want to, if I feel good, then I'll just sit there for an hour and just chill out. But I don't really have I have a set routine as far as like warming up goes. But outside of that, I don't really have crazy, stuff that I do.
No
Uh,
superstitions on game day.
nah, man. Sometimes I'll switch it up just on purpose, so there's no correlation. It's like, oh man, I think I did that before, so I got to do it again. It's like, nope, I'm gonna change it up, and that's not it. So
Keep it fresh.
I
yeah.
love that. I got another question about game prep. So when you're going into a specific week against a specific opponent through college or NFL, have you had to prepare yourself to kick multiple field goals prior to a game, or is it just a wild card every time you go out there?
Man, every week it's the same preparation, and you might get one kick or you might get 5, 6 kicks. You don't know. That's just depending on how the game goes and if the coach want to kick it, and everything's like situational based too, you know. So not only the down and distance, but what like quarter is it? How much time's left, and what's the momentum looking like? You know what I'm saying? So there are a lot of stuff that goes into it, and obviously that's a lot of the stuff outside of my control. So if they just call field goal, that's when I go out there and kick. So every preparation is the same every week, no matter the opponent, and just get ready when your name's called.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you've shown that throughout your career. I mean, you and Justin Tucker, I mean, y'all are the most accurate kickers in the league right now. And obviously, you've had that mentality that I kind of like that you're not a superstitious guy. Like I feel like that I want my kicker not to be a superstitious guy. Like, you know what, let's just change it up just because, the hell of it. You know what I mean? But Raheem Morris, y'all's new coach for the Falcons, he was your special teams coach at one time, right?
Nah, so when Dan Quinn was the head coach, and then when he got fired, Raheem actually took over as the interim head coach.
What was
Um,
what was his position before Dan Quinn got fired? I don't know why I was thinking he was a special teams coach.
nah, I think it was like an assistant head coach, obviously, and then maybe he switched roles. I think it was like receivers, then like he went to defense, and he was doing. I mean, he's a talented guy, man. He can coach both sides of the ball, so he was doing everything. And then he took over as the interim head coach in 2020, I
20,
believe.
I think it
Yeah.
was 2020. Yeah.
I don't know why I was thinking he was a special teams coach, but to stay on the topic of him, how do you feel, obviously getting a guy that and that you've been with, and, obviously a few players on the team have as well. Do you think that's going to be a better situation for the Falcons, going into the season with a guy that, is familiar with Atlanta?
Sure. I mean, I think there are definitely pros to that. I mean, personally, like having relationship before him coming back to Atlanta is pretty cool. But at the end of the day, man, it's a business. So no matter you have pre-existing relationship or not, like it's a new year. It doesn't matter what you've done before, and it's just what you're gonna do now. That's just how the NFL is. So not much changes. It's still a fresh year going into training camp, and you just got to get ready to do your job.
I got a couple more questions for you as well, if you don't mind. I know, we're kind of running over the time that we originally said, but you know, you undrafted guy, you go to the Chargers, you go to the AAF, I believe it was called in Atlanta, and played with Aaron Murray,
I
right?
did. He was my locker mate. He was right next to me.
Really? That's
Thanks.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess what I'm asking is, talk about the experience. We talked about, how you got to Georgia Southern, talk about, your professional experience. What was it like getting cut from the Chargers, with the Atlanta Legends and I believe it was called, and now the Falcons.
It's a blessing, bro. Like I always said I'll never change anything about my career because that first year with the Chargers and getting cut, it taught me a lot, not only, as a professional, but also personally as well. Like it taught me a lot. Just the business side of it, what you have to do to be a pro. So going back, into the gym and learning. I linked up with John Carney, who kicked in the league for 24 years. He taught me a lot, just so when the second opportunity came, if it came, I was ready to go and don't waste that. So it's a blessing that I got an opportunity to play in the AAF and play well there while I was waiting for a call from the NFL and just prepping for that opportunity when it came and to capitalize on that. I'm just fortunate that I ever got that second chance because not many people do. And, just looking back at the earlier stages of my career, like rookie year and then taking 2 years to get back into the league, like, I wouldn't change a thing because he taught me so much about myself and how to become a pro.
That's awesome. And especially, kicker is, one of the hardest positions in the NFL. Just especially that, most kickers in the league, you got a short leash if you miss some field goals. And, unfortunately, you missed a couple field goals with the Chargers. And, here you are in Atlanta getting a, what, second contract, 4 or 5 year deal. What was it, 27 mil?
I don't know the exact numbers, but it's
Hey, I'd like to make a comment on not only did you play good in the AAF, you were actually perfect. I believe 14 for 14 in the 8 games you played. I don't think you missed at all.
Yeah, so that was kind of rolling the dice there. There was a time when I got a call from a CFL team and I debated going to Canada because it was getting to like a year and a half, 2 years from the Chargers game or Chargers of experience. So you got to get some more recent game film.
Right.
Because there are new college guys coming out and free agents, and you're battling against all those guys. So you had to get some relevant, more recent game film. And AAF came along, and I got that opportunity to stay pretty much at home and play in the spring, so you don't have to sacrifice the fall season and go to Canada or something like that. So I'm, fortunate that I got that opportunity, and that preparation that I had, that I was putting the work in after the Chargers experience, definitely helped as far as routines and my craft and all that stuff goes. So if I didn't play well in the AAF, then that probably would have been a wrap for my career, I would think. But having a good season there kind of, put me back on the workout circuit, and went to a couple of tryouts here and there. And it's a lot of luck involved too, because certain spots got to open up for you to be at the workouts to get an opportunity to compete for that job. So, a lot of things kind of lined up. So I'm just blessed, man. I feel grateful.
What made you ultimately, because you mentioned something about tryouts, what made you ultimately decide, hey, the Falcons is it for me? Was that your only option, or were there some other teams out there that were looking to sign you?
No, you don't have any option, bro. So you just go and hopefully you do well and they sign you. You don't have any say so in that. If they want to sign you, they sign you. If they don't, they don't. So whenever there are
Cutthroat.
workouts, whenever there are workouts come, then you just want to go there and just ball out and do the best you can so you can get signed for whether to compete or, get back on the team to get some game film, or, at least get preseason games and, all that stuff. So as a free agent, man, you ain't got no choice but to go there and try to do your best, and hopefully they sign you.
Yeah. That's crazy. I didn't know that, honestly. I mean, it's a business, like you said earlier. So, I mean, NFL, it's all about money. It's all about business. So, but
Yeah, man, it's a business. You gotta produce. You gotta do your job, and if not, then there are thousands of guys waiting to take your job. So you might be the only kicker on the team, but guys are looking to see if you miss and try to get into for a workout so they can take your job. And that's the reality of the situation. And you gotta just hone in on your craft so you can stay around.
Alec and Cooper, do y'all have anything kind of like related to football or anything personal to KOO? I've got two kind of off topic, kind of dumb questions for them.
I got actually two things. First one, I wanted to ask you about that special 2020 season. You were tied for the league leader in total points scored. You went 8 for 8 from 50 plus, didn't miss within 30. What was your mindset that year? I mean, that was one of the greatest kicking single years of all time.
I think that was my second year. So the year before that, I think I played like 8 games because I came in halfway through the season, and I was just continuing to work on my craft and get better even each week during that season. I wasn't really worried about anything as far as like stats looking like. I mean, that's never the case. You just gotta week to week try to do your part so you can help the team and do your job. That was really the main focus. There was nothing else to that. And then once the season's over, you can reflect on how it went, good or bad, and always learn from those lessons. But yeah, there was not much, you know, how like that season happened. It was just continuous um, journey of trying to improve week to week.
And then my second thing, this has been my burning question ever since we got this interview lined up. The number change. How did Bijan approach you? How did that go down?
Yeah, so he got drafted, and I think the head coach gave me a call or texted me, and I was like, "Yeah, he can have it."
That's pretty
And then,
straightforward.
yeah, and then Bijan FaceTimed me soon after that, and he was like, "Yeah, man, whatever you need, I'll get it to you, and I appreciate blah 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 blah." It was a good phone call, man. He's a great human being. I mean, he's obviously very talented on the field, but even better of a human being, man. And he FaceTimed me right away and all that stuff. And I told him, I was like, man, I didn't have to pay for 7. You ain't gotta pay me nothing. You can have that and just go ball out. And I kind of still have the mindset of like, I don't really care if I got number 99. I'm just, glad to be on the team and have a job. So I don't really care what number I got. So yeah, man, he's doing his thing. So I'm looking forward to see what he does more. But as far as the number change goes, like I don't really care what number I wear.
Just
Well,
there for business. Love it.
I do have, sorry, I said 2, but I do have 3, literally last 3 questions and we can wrap it up. And they're all stupid as all get out. So, but on Bussin' with the Boys, Kirk Cousins said that Taylor Heineke is a Zen Lord. And I'm pretty sure I might be right, in quotes, Zen Lord. But KOO, I think I bummed a couple Zen pouches off of you the last couple of times I've seen you. But is Taylor Heineke really a Zen Lord?
That's probably why we play golf a lot together. But
with the Zens.
but yeah, man, unofficially, yeah. We need something to stay awake during the meetings and stuff. You can only drink too much coffee.
Yeah. So the next thing I got kind of related to the team is if you had to pick 3 guys, 3 current or even former teammates to be stuck with you on a deserted island, who you bring in, and if you don't have a reason why, that's cool, but maybe give a little small reason why who you would bring, of why you're picking them, I mean.
Caleb McGarrett,
Okay.
That was quick.
because we're gonna survive.
He's a good old boy.
I mean, yeah, that guy goes bear hunting and stuff. Like, it's wild, bro.
Oh, really? That's crazy.
Yeah, we're gonna eat good. We're gonna come back. But
You're gonna eat good with him, it sounds like.
oh yeah, wildlife. Yeah, I'm bringing Caleb all day.
So I was thinking, sorry to interrupt you, but like you got your guy that's like can uh kill the animals for you, cook you good food, probably. Who's the vibes guy? You need a vibes guy for the entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
For the vibes.
I mean, Heineke, I guess you could say, because he's bringing the Zens.
That's true. But I don't know how far Zins are taking you on an island, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. So, I don't know, man. Vibe wise, I mean, I'll get along with whoever. So, I'll mess the vibe and get it going. But I think survival is key on those situations.
Okay, so who you taking? Do you got 2 more people?
I don't know, bro. You're putting me on the spot there, dog. I'm just gonna keep that at Caleb with survival mode there.
That's smart. That's smart.
Okay, so we'll throw in T-Bass and Heineke just cause since we've been talking about
All right, we'll probably make a whole golf course out of the beach over there.
them. You get
For sure.
you got your food and y'all can focus on the golf.
No
But
doubt.
last thing I got for you is, I know you visited St. Simon's Island before. I heard you love the crab stew from Crab Trap.
Hey, that spot is world class, bro.
You know my dad. My dad had to tell me one question he wanted me to ask you.
What you got?
That was it right there about Crab Trap.
Yeah, that's world class. I think he sent me I forgot what happened. Something happened in the group chat with Big Lenny, me, Tyler. We said something. I forgot what it was. I was like, if something ever happens, just send me cup of crab stew from I'll be set or something. I don't know what happened. And then like the next week, the guy sent me a whole jar of crab stew, bro.
No way.
I ate that for like a week straight and made like different dishes out of it. I was like putting pasta in it. Like I was just getting creative, bro. I ate that for a week straight for every meal.
Dude, it's so good. I cannot go to that place and not get some crab stew,
Yeah,
honestly.
it's only right, man. It's I think I got to meet um I think when I that whole Georgia Southern thing this offseason, I think we got to meet the people from there, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, that spot's world class.
He goes there too much. He knows the owners of the place.
Who doesn't he know though? That's the question.
Yeah. No kidding. I tried to get him to zoom in a little bit on the pod, but he was busy doing some Georgia Southern NIL stuff. So
Yeah, that's probably more important.
yeah, he's insane.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah, so but Koo, I can't thank you enough, man. I really appreciate you coming on. I know this has kind of been a long time thing that we've been wanting to do with you. Us three, we wanted to do with you for a while. So I can't thank you enough, man, and I really hope to see you soon. And
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, it was fun, bro. Glad we can do it. And if y'all come to the game this season, just holler.
hey, I will be at the Falcons Cowboys game actually, so I'm gonna let you know that right now.
Sounds good. Hit me up that week. I got you.
If I'm there, I'll have citrus Zens on me.
But make sure that's 60s too.
We're going
Always.
to catch some games for sure this year. We're going to rise up. We got the division in the bag this year.
Yeah, we got to. We got it.
Hey, we're going to put a hypothetical wager on the Dirty Birds to win the division. So
I like it.
I actually just we're sitting here locked in YOUNGHOE for MVP. So
Nice. Hey, this ain't no NCAA dynasty mode now. You gotta get real sometimes.
Hey, I do have a dynasty fantasy league that you do as like a real kind of NFL franchise, and we just draft rookies. And I hope you've been my kicker. You're going into your 4th year as my kicker on my fantasy team. So
I like that. Hopefully you're winning, bro. And if you don't, it ain't on me.
well, it's definitely not on you. So I can give Tyler some crap because Josh Allen was throwing too many picks last year for me. So
All right. All right, fella. This was fun.
Hey man, thank you again, and we're rooting for you this season. And kick them straight, and I know you will. And go kill it this year, man.
Sounds good, brother. Good to see y'all, boys.
Thank you.
See ya. Appreciate it.